Alright, we got a 2000 Yamaha Bear Tracker 250 here. Buddy of mine brought this over. I know it hasn't ran at least 5 or 6 years. Fuel systems has been pouring out of the petcock, and oh my god, the whole thing just this is covered in lacquered up fuel. So I'm real close to getting it started back up for the first time, or trying to anyway. But decided to go ahead. Weather's kind of nasty, so decided to go ahead and check the front brakes. I can tell this lever doesn't feel very good. Like I said, this machine hasn't even moved in years. So this is the front right. Definitely something dragging in there. Doesn't feel very well. Here's the front left. Doesn't doing anything. Now, you barely pull on the lever, and this one does stop. You pull a lot farther, and this one will stop, but I still feel like it's something more than just an adjustment. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna scrub all these things down. I'm gonna lubricate these adjusters and this nut, and I'm gonna pull these cotter pins and this castle nut off, and I'm gonna show you what's inside. All right, as soon as I sprayed some penetrating oil inside of here where this nut goes, the right side started spinning nice and freely. Brakes still aren't adjusted the same on both sides, and I'm still going to take this nut off and look inside and inspect these things really well. Probably be able to clean this out, whatever is causing that to be frozen like that. So I'm going to still pull them off, show you here in just a second. All right, here's the left hand side. Somebody's had this one off before because the cotter pin is broken, part of it, but hopefully it doesn't come off without too much trouble. Yeah, it's not too bad. I see there's a bearing inside this drum here. That's definitely not good. That's the roar I hear. That's probably what I sprayed the lubricant in the other side. That's probably what's wrong with those. Brake pads actually seem intact, but pretty rusty because they've been sitting in water for who knows how long. So looks like this rubber seal that goes on this brake is definitely, there's a rubber seal that goes all the way around here, and it's shot. So we'll get the other side off here in a second. I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, here's the right side. This son of a gun did not want to come off. I had to sit there and pry this thing back and forth finally. So I haven't looked inside of it yet, but something's seized up. Something on the, either on this shaft, on my bearing. Something in here was locked up, but finally got it off, and I even loosened up this brake, and you can see this brake lever is totally seized up here. It's not moving on it freely on its own. We're gonna get all this lubricated up and get this stuff back working. So just a quick look inside. You can see it's just a real simple lever system here. When you turn it, it turns this knob and it spans your two brake shoes. So pretty simple, but here's most of the problem I got. Is this one doesn't move. So I'll clean all this up, put it all back together, and readjust all the brakes. So thanks for watching. All right, the problem on the right hand side is definitely this clevis right here. When you pull on the brake cable, the brake handle, it pulls that cable and makes this turn. Okay, when that turns, it spreads your back brake shoes apart and makes them grip on your brake drums. So the problem is real sticky inside of here. This is really easy to take off. You just need to unhook your brake line, your brake cable, and take this clevis out. Okay, and then once you take that off, all you do is take this bolt out right here. Okay, you'll take the bolt all the way out. You'll notice before you take it off, there's marks on this. Okay. See, there's a dimple on the shaft and on the lever, so you can't get it wrong. You may have to stick a screwdriver in here and pry this apart a little bit. It'll be a little little tight and full of gunk, and then just take the whole arm off. Okay, at this point, you can actually, from the inside, you can actually pull the whole shaft out. Okay, you also have to take the little marker off. I got to tell you that. It's the same thing. There's a certain flat spot on the shaft that matches a spot on this marker. Okay, and that's the only way it's going to go on and off. All right, the only way it goes on and off, to have it two lined up. You can't put it in the wrong spot. So once you get that off, then you can just pull this whole thing out. And my problem is right here on this edge, a ton of corrosion buildup, not allowing this to spin. This side over here is nothing but an O-ring, where this goes all the way through. You can see there's actually an O-ring in there, so it really doesn't rest against anything and should turn freely. Okay, so in case you have that problem, it's really easy to take apart. So I'll get the rest of these brakes cleaned back up, put them all together and readjust them, and should be like good as new. Alright, all back together. All I gotta do is put the drums on and tighten the adjusters to get them to get closer to being close to the drums, but everything works great now. Just didn't work at all like this before. Now I can get them both adjusted properly. You can actually see when I squeeze them, you can see. Get both of them are working in unison together, so everything should be good. Just put the drums on and finish adjusting. So thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate you. All right, so here's the rear brake on the same machine. As you can see, it's pretty disgusting inside here, and it has the same pivot just like the two front brakes are. Obviously you only have one brake in the rear, but all of this gonna need to get cleaned out. You also see the drum has a 24mm or a 15/16 nut with a cotter pin you have to take out first on the castle nut, and you can see the drum is splined. Okay, has this big washer on it, but it's splined. Okay, similar but smaller brake shoes as well, but same problem. This is just all gunked up, needs to be cleaned up, lubricated, and everything will be fine. So thanks for watching.